Hi guys, it's me Deb Campus. Hope you guys are doing great. Today I'm in a beautiful spot near my house. It's part of the forest behind my house and it's beautiful. Dixie National Forest. Today I'm here doing this video because I was tagged by a channel called Epic Adventures on YouTube. He also has a channel for backpacking and gear and everything else. He tagged me to speak about my top 5 worst backpacking mistakes I've done. And boy, do I have them. Yes. And to be honest, I have 6. So there will be one extra bonus mistake that I will be talking about today. I'm also going to be talking to you guys about what I've learned from my mistakes and how I try not to make them again. I also wanted to add that, in my opinion, I believe backpacking, it's all about getting it done. Research, reading, watching videos, yes, will help you, will give you a lot of information, but there's nothing like getting out there and getting it done. Especially when it comes to gear, what kind of gear works for you, or what kind of tent will work for you, what kind of trail or place you like to hike. All of that needs experience. So it's all about getting out there and doing it. So my mistake number 1 was in my first backpacking trip. I went with my daughter. We went to a beautiful lake, beautiful lake. And one thing I didn't know about was how temperatures in elevations fall very drastically at night. And even though that day was a beautiful day in May, and it was in the almost 70 degrees during the day, at night the temperature fell close to freezing temperature. I would say close to 32. My problem is that I did not take the appropriate sleeping gear. So I had a sleeping bag that was rated to 50 degrees, and my sleeping pad, I had no idea about R value, so I ended up buying just any sleeping pad, which I believe had an R value of 1. And that was it. That sealed our fate that night. It was so cold, extremely cold. None of us slept, me or my daughter, and she paid the price for me not knowing what I know now. But it was a very cold night, and I will never forget that night because it was extremely painful. But we survived. And my lesson learned was get back home and learn about sleeping bags ratings and sleeping pads R values. My second mistake was right after my first backpacking trip, which I was now ready to not be cold anymore. I promised myself I wasn't going to be cold on a backpacking trip anymore. So what I did on my second backpacking trip, I took too much gear. I took 2 sleeping bags. I still made a mistake of having a low R value on my sleeping pad. But because I had 2 sleeping bags, it was fine. I wasn't that cold. But I took too much stuff, and that's my second backpacking trip. So it was close to 30 or maybe over 30 pounds, my entire bag with food and water. And that was not pleasant because other than having heavier backpacks, I chose a trail that was steep the entire time. It was just either uphill or downhill the entire time. There was just one spot where we could sleep that was flat. Everything else was either going up or down. So that was very unpleasant. It took us a long time to get back to the car. Lesson learned on that backpacking trip was not to take too much. My third backpacking mistake was actually unrelated to gear or trail. I like to document my trips whenever I can. And this one was going to be my first time ever backpacking in the winter with camping on snow and everything. And it was really awesome. We just hiked for a little bit on that day and we set up everything and I filmed and it was really nice. Everything was so awesome. But when we left, I did not know that my camera had fallen on the snow, and I lost my camera. And that was an expensive camera, so it was painful. Losing my camera was very painful, and I learned my lesson to always check before you leave the place that you were camping on. My fourth backpacking mistake, was actually happened last year when we went backpacking to Zion. We went, it was also the end of May, and we went, and the streams were flowing, there was water, and it was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. When it comes to time that I had to, fill up my bottles with water, my water filter wasn't working. It was broken, and I never tested it at home. I never checked to see if it was working or not. So I had a busted water filter, and now I didn't know what to do. I did carry my water tabs with me. I just hate them because they make the water taste really bad. And boiling water, I could only do it at the campsite. I could do it anywhere, but you're not allowed in a national park be doing fires or even using your stove unless you are already in your camping site, the designated camping site. So we actually had to drink the water as it was from the stream, and I was really scared that we were going to be sick, but thank God we didn't get sick. Lesson learned: always check your filter before you go on a backpacking trip. Always. Even if you have used 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, always check it. You want to make sure that it's working. My fifth backpacking mistake was actually a pretty dangerous one. We were coming back from a 3 days backpacking trip, me and my daughter, and we were doing switchbacks down the hill, and there were a lot of fallen trees in the way because it was a forest and there's not much maintenance going on there. So we had to just keep hopping over trees to be able to get down to down the trail. Well, what happened is there was one tree that had a branch sticking out, and I was already impatient. I wanted to get to the car. I decided to just kick the branch, so break it off from the tree. As I did that, I slipped, and half of my body was hanging on the hill and the other half was still on the tree. I got really scared. My daughter, she froze. She didn't know how to help me. She got really scared too, and luckily I was able to make it to the other side. I think I might have broken my finger because I had a swollen finger for actually 2 or 3 months. It took me to heal, but it could have been worse actually. I could have actually fallen down and rolling down the hill, God knows where. So my lesson learned on that trip was to never try to do things that I'm not trained, or trying to adventure or do things thinking that I can just go hopping over things and just, and not get hurt. And one bad judgment can actually cost you very much. So always be careful with the decisions that you make. Anything that you do that is outside of the trail could, potentially get you hurt. And my sixth bonus mistake that I have here for you guys is I live in a state where there's monsoon season. Utah has monsoon season and also has flash floods. This one is related to monsoon season. I actually, when I started my backpacking, one time I decided to just go backpack by myself. And I didn't know about monsoon seasons. I knew that it always rained in the afternoon for some reason, but I didn't connect anything, so I didn't research about it. And I started my hike pretty late in the day. It was like 10:30. And I started already at 9,000 feet of elevation, so the whole trail was going to go up to 10,000 something. And I just kept going up, and around 12:30 I started to see clouds. It was a clear day, but I started to see clouds coming. Those clouds came in so fast. At 1 o'clock I got caught in the worst lightning storm. Give me rain, go away. It was just very scary. It was just terrible to feel the electricity in the air. I could actually feel the hair in the back of my head. Standing up, I could feel the tingling from the electricity. Luckily, I was still in tree line, so me and my dog, we were fine, but it could have been really bad too. Lesson learned, it's to always research where you're going to go backpacking, weather, what happens there. If it's a place that you're not used to, it's always good to research, always good to know the weather especially. So this is it. Those were my worst mistakes, backpacking mistakes. I hope the ones that I make from now on are a little less consequential. Backpacking, like I said in the beginning, it's all about getting it done. You have to get the experience, and you have to be okay with making mistakes. But like I said, information research will help you, especially when it comes to safety matters or emergency situations. The more you can research, the more you can get knowledge. It's the best thing you can do. I guess I'm supposed to now ask some other channels to also make a video letting us know their worst backpacking mistakes. I want to tag or ask two people. One, it's Ken from the Idahonian channel. Ken, if you can please make a video letting us know what were your worst backpacking mistakes and what did you learn from it, so we can also learn from you. And my second channel would be Jason from Backpacking with Jason. I would also like to ask him if he can let us know what were the worst mistakes he has ever done for backpacking. So this is it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys are having a great week. I hope you guys are having a chance to get outside and enjoy nature. It's so beautiful now out. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Before I forget, make sure you put in the comment section below what were your worst backpacking mistakes you think you've done, and what have you learned from it. I would love to know that. All right, take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.